Okay, I think, and then, nope. Okay, we are now live. Just let me go ahead and I'm just currently playing with this computer. Nope. Okay, so,
Okay.
hello, my name is Jillian. I am a trainer at Canine Complex and Friends as well. And you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Janine, and I am the owner and head trainer of Canine Complex and Friends. I am a certified dog behavior consultant, as well as having a number of other certifications, including a predatory substitution trainer certificate that I earned under the mentorship of Simone Mueller. And that's what we are going to talk about today is predation in dogs. What does it mean? How does it work? And what you can do to help your dog get the benefits of the prey sequence without harming any living things. First of all, I just wanted to do a little shout out to My Little Pot Ice, who is where we teach most of our classes right now, and it's a wonderful location where it's not a daycare or just free-for-all play group. You come with your dogs. It is supervised. Dogs are safe under the guidance of Mary Lou Perry, the owner. And it's just a wonderful, if you want somewhere safe for your dogs to play during these colder months, contact My Little Pot Ice. And you can rent private time to play alone if you have a dog that does not get along with others, or you can go to a number of different group classes with your dog. All right, so on that note, let's get started. What is predation, and how does this relate to dogs? First of all, dogs are not predators. They are not natural predators. They are scavengers. However, all dogs do have the prey sequence encoded in their brain. If you look at natural dogs, which are the 80% of dogs on the planet that are not breeds, that live free-ranging, free-living, and have evolved from the original domestic dogs. These dogs are not predators. They rarely hunt. They're scavengers. They eat and live off the refuse of human cultures. Modern dogs are a little bit different. So when we're talking about breeds, again, not technically predators, but you can see more prey drive in them. What is the reason for this? When humans have set out to create breeds over many, many, many hundreds, thousands of years, what they did primarily was to manipulate and modify the natural prey sequence that is encoded in all dogs' brains to create dogs that are better suited to do whatever job humans wanted them to do. First, let me just take one little step back. And what is the prey sequence? The prey sequence consists of orient, eye, stalk, chase, grab bite, kill bite. Some people include the stage of possess, and then dissect and consume. Those are the steps that any predator animal will go through in the process of hunting and catching their dinner. And again, I said that all dogs have this prey sequence encoded in their brain, but modern breeding has manipulated that for each different breed of dog to create dogs that are better suited to doing one or more kind of jobs. For example, hunting dogs like Labs and Goldens. For them, the part of the prey sequence that they retain is typically chase and grab bite. That means they like to run after things like the typical Golden and Lab does, chase balls, and grab that ball or toy and bring it back. That's what they're bred to do. Other hunting dogs, such as pointers, they don't ever touch the prey. They will point it out as to where it is so that their human can, the hunters can go off and find it. So for them, they have the orient, eye, and stalk portion of the prey sequence. Herding dogs typically have orient, eye, stalk, chase, and sometimes grab bite. Some breeds of dogs herd by biting the ankles of the cow or sheep. Terriers are going to have, for example, chase, grab bite, kill bite are what they have been selected for. Not typically the orient, eye, and stalk. They're more likely to see their prey and take off running after it, chasing it, grabbing it, shaking it till it's dead, and then leave it. One of the reasons that their prey sequence ends with kill bite and does not go on into dissect and consume is if they are, many terriers are small, and if they are working as rodent control, they have to be able to kill many rats or whatever. If they stop to eat each rat after it's dead, they will get full very quickly and will not be able to continue their job. So for them, it is not advantageous to have a strong desire to dissect and consume. But that may not be true for all terriers, just in general. And those are just some examples of how modern breeding has manipulated and modified the natural prey sequence to create dogs that are better suited to perform certain jobs. So another interesting thing about various dogs is you can see them while they are playing, practicing their prey sequence. The parts, the exaggerated parts of the prey sequence. You can see them tugging on toys, chasing balls, even watching and stalking animals or movement. That is common for herding dogs, that they'll see movement somewhere and then they start stalking it. Or wanting to chase it. So you can see these dogs repeatedly practicing their particular breed-specific parts of the prey sequence. A good example of this is one of my dogs years ago. I had a little miniature pinscher. Her name was Luna, the first min pin that I had. And she was a very, very efficient hunter. And she very often, when we were eating dinner, she would be off in a corner acting like she was being a good little dog and minding her own business and not getting into things. But if she saw an opportunity that somebody didn't push a chair in or got up or leaned over, and she saw an opportunity to jump up on the table and grab whatever food she could before jumping off and running into another room with her catch. It wasn't actually till years later, and I had studied predation in depth in dogs, that I realized that what she was doing there was actually practicing her own portion of the prey sequence. She was a dog that could catch birds in the air, in flight, and she would just do the exact same thing. She would watch the bird, stalk it, wait quietly until the bird started to take off, and then she would jump into the air and grab the bird and keep running. Different breeds, you can see this with your own dogs. You can see whether they're playing tug, chase, fixating on other animals out in the world. You can see this when dogs are young and puppies and they're playing and practicing these parts of the prey sequence, but also when they get older, they will often transfer these behaviors into aspects of their regular life, given that they don't have the outlet to do the job that they've been bred to do. So they will find other ways to seek to enact those steps. Now, I have been studying the neurobiology of the dog's brain for some time now. I would not call myself quite an expert yet, but I do know that each step of the prey sequence provides different chemical benefits to your dog. If we break the prey sequence down into 3 general groups, number 1 being orient, eye, stalk, number 2 being chase, grab, bite, kill, bite, and number 3 being dissect and consume, you can get a really good example of how this works. So the first section, orient, eye, stalk, is actually should be a very serious, well thought out, calm behavior for your dog. Your dog should be looking for whatever they think might be prey, watching it calmly and intently, very thoughtful, very controlled, self-aware, what's the word that I want? Regulated. And because if they are running after prey the second they see it and barking and being crazy, the prey is going to get away. And if they were living in a life in which they had to hunt, they would starve. They would not catch anything. So that part of the prey sequence is very important because it teaches dogs patience, thoughtfulness, self-regulation, and to be very calm and intensely regulated.
Yes.
Section number 2, chase, grab, bite, kill, bite, is the fun part. That's like play. The dog is running after the prey, grabbing it out of the air or on the ground, wherever, shaking it up and killing it. It's so much fun. It's just like a game of chase. It's like a game of tug. The dog is really enjoying this part of the prey sequence. It's just very high arousal, very excited, very confident, very just they enjoy what they're doing with this. So that is something that is very important to see when they're playing. And if you might have a dog that you do sports with, this is very important. It can be channeled into the dog using this part of the prey sequence to enhance their ability to perform sports. Third section, dissect and consume. For me, that's the most interesting part, and with Thanksgiving being just past, I use Thanksgiving as a fabulous example of how this part works. When we are eating Thanksgiving dinner, we are dissecting a turkey, our prey, and consuming it. And then what do we do after that? We go and lay down on the couch. We're out cold, napping. We're just overcome with profound relaxation and the need to sleep. We rarely allow our dogs to experience this part of the prey sequence because we're worried that our dog is going to kill a bunny or a squirrel, or worse, potentially a cat or a little dog. So we don't want our dogs doing this. Plus, if we're walking out in the city or wherever, and the dog is constantly chasing after squirrels, it makes the walk very difficult. But you can work with this part of the prey sequence very effectively and get the dog the benefit of that complete and total satisfaction without hurting anything. What I do for that, there are a lot of things that I've learned through the predation substitution training, but one of the easiest things that I like to do to work this out is creating what I call a turkey dinner for the dog. I'm going to have Jillian show you how to do that. This is a paper towel roll.
Yes.
We've got some paper and some food. And this is just the absolute most basic form of this. You can use big boxes and stuff them full of toilet paper, paper towel rolls, anything you want to make a big, exciting turkey dinner or prey substitute that the dog can get the benefits of dissecting and consuming, ripping apart and eating something.
Oh, paper first.
Treats.
Oh, treats, yes.
Just a couple.
Yeah, so what we'll do, we would put a couple treats here.
In the paper.
In the paper.
Sorry. Crunch it up.
We'll just go ahead and crunch it right up. We'll go ahead. So the treats are in this piece of paper right here. I made a little ball over here. And what we do with it is, I had an extra treat in my hand. We'll go ahead and just crunch it up with the paper and the treat inside. So the paper is crunched up inside with the treat. And you will go ahead and it goes in there. So then I'm going to go ahead and show you a second one of how to do it. So paper like this. I get a couple of treats right over here. I'm going to go ahead, crunch it all up in here, mush it up, and put that in the hole. Right over
But
here.
we don't really have to keep going with that.
Right.
But you want to fill that up with as much paper treats you can that you can fill in there. You can even put some in just a couple of treats and then crunch up the paper after.
Yeah. I do sometimes is I will twirl the treats in with like tissue paper and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
and then put that in the
Yeah.
tube. My dog
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
that.
you can do that too. What we want to do is to give the dog something that they can, when they are engaged in focusing on something that they think is prey, whether it's a toy, whether they're watching a ball on the ground, staring at it, waiting for you to tell them to get it, or whether they're on a walk and they see a squirrel. The most important thing to do there is teach your dog that when it sees something that it thinks is prey, you want to encourage your dog to watch that quietly, silently. Just sit and watch the squirrel, the bird, whatever. You can reinforce your dog verbally, good watch, good watch. And when the bird or squirrel runs away and the dog turns to look at you, you will take your turkey dinner and throw it and let them go get that. If your dog doesn't understand ripping apart this, you can put some peanut butter inside and out, which will make it a little bit easier for them to want to rip it up. You want to probably practice this on your before your dog is out in the real world. So practice with a ball or a toy or something that they can, or even looking out the window, and then when they look back. This is a great exercise for those dogs that are at the windows barking at the Unabomber who pretends to be a mailman, or the Amazon person who's got bombs and dangerous animals in their truck and are threatening to enter your house. So for those dogs that like to bark at those intruders, go up with them, talk to them while they are looking, teach them that they can look calmly, and then when they focus again on you, toss their turkey dinner. The difference between using this and using a toy, the dog can rip up. That's generally what toys are, soft toys, stuffed toys are made for. They're made to be ripped up. The problem with them is there's nothing in them to eat. You can use toys that have already been ripped up, save them, remove the stuffing and the squeaker, and then stuff them with tissue paper or a paper bag or whatever, and food. You can reuse them. But toys don't, in general, give the dog the opportunity to complete that prey sequence because they can only rip the toy up. They don't have something to eat. Then when you've got other toys like, say, Kongs or snuffle mats or toy food puzzles, those give the dog something to eat, but not to rip up. BarkBox, a little shout out to BarkBox. BarkBox does make toys that are meant to be ripped apart, and they usually provide spaces for you to hide food in. So they'll have little pockets or little flaps that you can open so that you can fill treats up into the toy and then give it to the dog to rip it apart and get some food. The key to these, and you can make these as complex as you want. You can use boxes. I have a client with a pit bull that gets, once a week, gets a big box full of paper towel and toilet paper rolls stuffed with treats and paper, taped shut, and he has the best time ripping it to shreds. And then he goes off and sleeps, and he'll sleep for the rest of the day. So this simple little trick gives your dog the opportunity to achieve all of those, the benefits, the chemical, biological, neurological benefits of the prey sequence without hurting anything. They can safely watch a critter, and then they can go and rip this apart and eat it and then have their profound relaxation.
Yes.
Um,
And if you guys have questions about prey drives or anything about your dogs, you can just list that in the comment section, and we'll go ahead and answer that through
Yep.
the live chat. So.
Yeah. I know we're right in the middle of the football game, so we may not have anybody listening to us live, but if you do listen to this tomorrow or another day and you want to ask questions, please feel free, and we will answer them in the comment section as well.
Absolutely.
Why do we see dogs performing predatory behavior if dogs are not predators? Dogs, again, number one, as I said, humans have manipulated the genetics of modern breeds to enhance certain parts of the prey sequence. When you have a dog behaving in a way such as doing herding behaviors, predatory behaviors, which herding behaviors are, hunting behaviors, chasing balls and toys and stuff, and it's out of context, it can very well be stress related. What does that mean? Your dog can be out for a walk and be very stressed by the environment. And so they respond by ultra focusing on that bird over there, or that paper bag that's blowing down the street, or the car that is driving, and I desperately need to go chase that because I'm really stressed. Sometimes when we see dogs taking walks and they're having a very difficult time just sniffing or just enjoying the walk, we have to wonder if the dog is actually having fun on that walk. Now, I like to compare human stories that I have experienced myself to give a good understanding of how and why this works. So about 12 years ago, I went on a trip to Alaska at the end of the tourist season. So it was at the season when bears were starting to eat a lot so that they could prepare to hibernate. I wanted to go on a couple of hikes. I'm in beautiful Juneau, Alaska, and I just wanted to enjoy the scenery and the trails. And as I started doing one hike, and of course, end of the tourist season, so I had no tour guide. I was not with a group. It was just myself and my husband at the time. And I was having a good time, and suddenly I started thinking about bears. And so every step I took, I was panicking, and I was like, what's over there? What's over there? What's over there? Very hypervigilant, looking for that bear to pop out at me. Thinking of what I will do to my plan to escape from that bear, should that bear pop out at me. And finally, I just said, I can't do this. We're done. We're going to be done. I didn't have no gun, no bear spray, no bear bells, nothing to help us in the case that something should have happened or might have happened. Does that mean I don't like walks? No. Does that mean I don't like hikes? No. It does not mean I love walking, I love hiking. But I was in a bear-infested forest without any tools to help me manage that hike. And that is what we see a lot with dogs that go out and they're constantly looking for prey. They're constantly trying to chase things, barking, pulling. lunging at other dogs. They're not doing it necessarily because they want to hurt that other dog or that squirrel. They're doing it because they are in a bear-infested forest. That other dog, that squirrel, that car, those are all bears potential bears popping out of nowhere, causing a large amount of distress for your dog. So your dog acts by channeling into its predatory sequence and reacting. If we use the tools of allowing the dog to sit and watch when the dog's head is moving while they're walking, stop and let them observe, let them look at whether it's another dog, a person, a car, anything. Find a safe space, a safe distance, encourage them to look, give them their turkey dinner when they focus on you. You don't have to throw it, you can just give it to them, but it adds the chase and grab part to the sequence, so it's a nice kind of addition. The dog then becomes very excited every time it's looking at something predatory, at a squirrel. It's like, oh, I'm going to watch this, and then mom's going to throw that for me. Dad's going to throw me my turkey dinner. I get to rip it up. I get treats. This is wonderful. So it changes the predation, the whole cycle, to being focused on the human and not on the potential prey. Jillian, do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I like how you said that because I struggled out with Monty a lot with our walks because he'll like see a squirrel. The rabbits are the worst for him because he's part German Shepherd and Husky, you know. So those are definitely two breeds of dogs that have like the high prey drives. I mean, he also has part of Bloodhound, which is Scent Hound,
and that is a different kind of
exactly
predation.
Yeah. And I let him walk something, just stare at it sometimes. Like once he's ready to go walk, then that's when we go, and I'm like, good boy, that's really good. But then like when sometimes it feels like when I'm like, okay, Monty, let's go, he will just jump and he'll just get super stressed, and it feels like I don't know. I noticed a couple of times, like I don't let him just really look at it, and I try to keep him going, you know. And it feels like it's worse for him.
But when you do this, if you bring a backpack or even a toilet paper roll you can stick in your pocket, as soon as he disconnects from that prey object, you give him that.
Yes.
And then you're having a dog that is able to easily continue on their walk and go past because everything has been led to its completion.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say?
I know I have a story about a Cairn Terrier that I previously owned with a rabbit, but I mean, terriers have a history of killing vermin, and you know, vermin was considered with rodents and anything. There is this really cool video. I forgot what article resource it was, but it was about how like a bunch of terriers, and they would kill rats in New York City, and the owners just let them go, and you know, they just go from one rat to one rat to one rat, but that's how the breed was too. And my Cairn Terrier would like literally go after small fuzzy things, and she just run after it. So I guess I've had some history of owning dogs with high prey drives, but not knowing what to do.
There are some fairly cool, if you can deal with it, videos on TikTok of natural pest control with a bunch of terriers killing a large amount of rats. It's disturbing, but it's really interesting if you are in any way interested in natural dog behavior.
Oh yeah, and then going back to what you were saying with the breeds and stuff, I mean, these were like breeds that were killing vermin, you know, that's what they were like labeled as, and therefore they had a purpose for
they
this
had a
breed.
purpose. They were bred to do that, bred by the manipulation of their prey sequence. Mm-hmm. And another interesting thing about terriers, when we often see terriers, again, lots of terriers are small, we often see terriers that aren't doing their job that they were bred to do, that are very overweight. Reason behind that, excuse me, if a small terrier has to, does by chance eat the rat or rabbit or whatever they're catching, with it being a small dog, they would get full very quickly. And then there would be a long time before they have digested that and are able to continue hunting. If you need a dog to hunt numerous, for a long period of time, or even be out there living in a barn or wherever, that they need to be doing this on a regular basis. They have also been bred to not feel full, so that when they kill a rat or two, even though it may be enough to make them full, they can still keep hunting. That is a really interesting trait about little terriers that need to be able to continue to catch rats despite how many they've already caught. Let's see, do I have anything else? If any, I would like to invite people to share in the comments, if not, at a later date, that any of their own experiences with their dogs watching behaviors that simulate predatory behavior, like my miniature pinscher Luna practicing predation in our dining room. I think it's really, obviously we don't want our dogs practicing predation on our dining room table at the meal we're about to eat, but it is really good to see a number of different experiences people have had with unusual ways in which their dogs may be practicing predation and using it when they don't have the opportunity to actually use it. I would love to hear in the comments any of your stories regarding anything you've seen in your own dogs, whether they're past or present. It's very, I think it can be very educational to everybody watching, to see when our dogs are exhibiting these types of behaviors, and how can we mold them to make it more safe for your dogs to practice, as well as safe for other living things surrounding them.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. There's so many that my dog went over with my caring terrier. She almost went after a little snake. She almost went after a shrew, mouse, rabbit. She almost caught a rabbit once. she was weird. She was being babysat, and she almost had the fur of the rabbit. I'm like, yep, that's a terrier. That's
yeah.
And we definitely have stories, and we would definitely love to hear yours. So
yeah, very. So I invite everybody to contribute. Maybe we'll compile them and put them on the Facebook page so others can learn from whatever you guys have written down. Maybe we'll just make a post on Facebook, so that you can comment directly there if you'd like.
Absolutely.
And I think on that note, I don't see that we have any questions. Does anyone know if the Bills are winning, if they're still playing? Who knows? Yeah. Those of you that are here with us are obviously not Bill fans, and that's okay. But on that note, I think we'll finish up. Yeah. And this was a great talk, and I look forward to our next meeting, which will be in another couple of months. We'll schedule another Ask the Trainer, and with a new topic.
Yes. Absolutely.
And go Bills.
Yes, go Bills. All right. Have a good night, guys.